All right, guys, here we go. I want you to do this worksheet that's in your Google Drive, okay, called Function Translations. We are exploring what happens to some of our basic functions as we implement some changes on them. So we're saying a times f of x, f of ax, f of x plus b, f of x minus b, and then a combination f of x minus b plus c. So we'll go to Desmos. Uh, we'll pick up, like a basic function, like let's say the absolute value of x. Okay, everybody knows that. Now I want to put the a in front of it. Okay, a, and we're going to slider on that. Now what we're doing with the slider is a couple things. We're right-clicking this on, moving from -1 to +1 in steps of 2. So that means it's just going to toggle back and forth between positive and -1. So that should do it. It's at 1, it's at -1, right? 1, -1. What's the difference? 1, -1. Well, try it with another function. So a times x to the third power. Okay? There's ax cubed. There's ax cubed with a equals 1, 1x cubed. There's -1x cubed. 1x cubed, -1x cubed. What's the difference? What's the difference? Okay? Again, what we did was we stepped that, okay? We stepped that from -1 to 1 in a step of 1. Okay? We'll look at the other couple functions, okay? Your unit circle function, which is the square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay, and then we'll put the 2 up there and see what happens with that. Okay, there's your square root x. I mean the unit circle. 1 times that. Now we put a negative sign. What's it do? What's it do? Okay? What's it do? I'm not telling you. You tell me. Okay? All right. Going back to the Desmos, then we had a couple other things we want to look at. Okay, look at the impact of f of -x. F of -x, okay? Or, I'm sorry, f of possibly -1 times x with the f of ax, where a is going to be either 1 or -1. That's what we're telling you in Desmos there. Okay, so now we're going to look at, let's look at our square root function, okay? Just the square root of x. Let's delete that. We do now the square root of a, well, sorry about that, the square root of ax, okay? Here's our slider, okay? The a value is +1. What happens when it becomes -1? What happens? Move it over. -1, +1. -1, +1. What's the difference? Okay? What's the difference? What if we look at the cube root of x? So we're going to have to enter that as the quantity, so parentheses, ax to the power, I think we should be able to do it this way, right? And then we're going to have to put that 1/3 power in. 1 divided by 3. Okay, that should do it. That should give us the cube root graph, okay? Let's hope, okay. There's our cube root graph, okay? So this is the cube root of 1x. What is the cube root of -1x? What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? Okay? Explore that for your other functions as well, okay? So that covers those two. Now we look at f of x plus b, okay? So we'll take a look at maybe a basic graph of, let's see, what do we want to look at? X squared. Let's look at x squared with these variations, okay? All right, go back and go to Desmos, okay? And we're going to look at our simple graph of x squared. X squared, okay? All right, now x to the 22nd, okay, just x squared, right? Now x squared plus b, x squared plus b, and then we'll add the slider in there for b, and we're going to let that slider, it doesn't really matter. I said that I think went from -5 to +5. That's just trying to keep it within the viewing window, step of 1, okay? What's the impact of that slider? Okay, well, if it's at 0, that's x squared. X squared plus 1, what's it do? X squared plus 2, what's it do? X squared minus 4, what's it do? Okay? Try the same thing with your other basic graphs, okay? The square root of x. The square root of x, what's that do? The square root of x plus b, square root of x plus 2, what's it do? Square root of x minus 3, what's it do? Okay? Know what it does. Okay? And lastly, we'll keep that same slider of b. Let's look at this option. Okay? The option of the square root of x minus b, keeping it under the radical. b equaling 1. Okay? b, x minus b, x minus 2, x minus a -2, which is actually reading x plus 2, right? X minus 2, okay? What's it do for b values positive? What's it do for b values negative? And I think the last thing we said was to combine another term in there, like plus c, okay? And then put the slider in for c, and see the combined effect of b and c. What is it doing? Answer those questions. Explain it after you explore these items on Desmos a little bit. Okay, so there you go. So get that worksheet done. It's in your Google Drive. Get the other one done from today, the ARC. Okay, if you hadn't finished it, you can just do it by hand calculations. Okay. All right, there you have it.